Hello, this is Tom, and today I'm going to be showing you how I did the regeneration effect for Sam's Doctor, as seen in A Matter of Time Part 3, because I have had a lot of people say they wanted to see how I've been doing my regeneration effect, so here I am. I'm doing it because I need the view, because I need anyway, so, let's just get into it, shall we? Okay, so the first task is just, you just have to import all the images. Now, what I did straight away, once this is done, is you need to get your paintbrush tool. The regeneration effect for this was like a lightning colour. So, you need to adjust the paint size, get the correct colour, add it to a linear dodge, not like that, because it'll just look silly then. So once it's added to a linear dodge, what you want to start doing is going over the hands slowly and then building it up on the neck as you go along, because the way this regeneration works, and most regenerations, you always see the hands glow first and then it builds up to the neck. Then like the face is the last thing you will see of this Doctor. So this is what I do, is I go through each individual frame. I'm adding the blue energy, but also making sure that along with that, the energy on the neck has to build up slowly, and then it has to be the same strength, if you will, as the arms, and then eventually it'll just cover the head, and that's the whole regeneration. Now what you'll see me do here is, as the energy goes stronger, I also add it to the body. Now, this is a second lightning layer, just made of, I think it was a white energy source. These are all off Google. A white energy source, some sparks that I just changed the colour to white, and then just some lightning. Now that you want to add to the same linear dodge effect, and then that is just a case of putting that over the glow you've just done, making sure it is the same size. The size will increase, but only as you get to maybe the second to last frame of stop motion. One thing I always did as well, was just to make sure that it worked, was to keep going back to the first frame and just playing it through as if it was stop motion. Now, the glowing on the body, I might have mentioned this, but the glowing on the body can be random. It doesn't have to be identical to the last frame, because there's no way of, there is a way of doing it, but it's a right pain in the arse. But yeah, the glowing can move all at once because it is literally just a glowing effect. And there we can see, if you play that through, that's the regeneration energy getting stronger. And then it's just a case of saving all the images and then loading it into Vegas. Now this one isn't sped up as much, because this one is the main part of the regeneration effect. So this was me just putting all the shots that I'd saved into Sony Vegas and making sure it all fits together. Again, this is what I would have done when I originally edited it 2 months ago. Now this regeneration particle layer was not made by me. In fact, I got it off YouTube. I don't know the name offhand, but I'll link it in the description because it's beautiful. So what I had to do here was basically cut it to fit the size of the clip, and then it was a case of lining it up with the regeneration effect, and then you have to, I tried to make it the same colour as the glowing effect, but watching the regeneration back, it was more of a white sort of glow, but it's the same thing really. So this is just me getting the colour right, but it is important that the colour is the same as the regeneration glow, or else it just wouldn't work. It's like the Doctor's having a regeneration glow that's orange and then regenerating like green. It just doesn't work. Now that tool there to smoothing it down into the hand is called a cookie cutter tool, and it is the best tool there is on Sony Vegas. It's wonderful. But once you've added the first layer onto the first hand, you have to do it to the second one, and then gradually, as the energy gets stronger, the head will start to produce the same glowing effect. So again, this one wasn't as hard to do. The first, putting the effect in, getting the colour, that's the hard part. The second bit is just selecting the clips, chopping them up, and then just rotating them to fit the arm as the stop motion plays along. Which did take quite a bit, but I mean, you've got to get it right, really. But it's quite weird doing this again, because obviously I didn't record the first time. But it made me realise how much of a pain in the arse it is to do a regeneration effect. Now, one thing I did wrong here, that if I could go back and change it, then I would, is that the size of the regeneration effect has to be the same size as the glowing lightning effect, or else it just looks a bit weird. I would have expanded the size using the crop tool, but I mean, I haven't, so what you gonna do? But I did in the original regeneration, so thank God for that. Yeah, so here now is where you just add the same effect again. But I mean, basically this is just the task of rotation. It's not the hardest thing to do. I guess it depends on how advanced you are on Sony Vegas and all that, but I mean, it's nothing special. I mean, if I can do it, then so then again, this is what I mean. It gets stronger as the regeneration builds up. Now, normally, I think I did it for the one you see in episode 5, where he's shot down by the spirit. I think I just did the regeneration effect on Vegas. I didn't put it through Photoshop. The only reason I put this through Photoshop is because if you were to put that regeneration layer over the top of the face, you would still see the face, and if it's a full regeneration effect, you don't want it to be see-through. Well, to an extent, you want it to be a solid particle effect. So, hence why you add the glow. But I mean, oh, sorry about that. But I mean, also adding the glow just gives it a bit of life, really. And that was it. That is how I did the regeneration effect for Sam. It was a case of putting the images Sam sent me into Photoshop, adding the glowing effect, loading that into Vegas, adding the regeneration effect. It is a pretty simple process, but it's mainly a task of blending the colours correctly, blending the effect, because if you don't, then it just looks a bit iffy. And that is pretty much it. What I wasn't going to do is I wasn't going to go through like step by step, because this is like a one-off regeneration effect. I don't think people are going to reproduce this, but hopefully this has given you some insight as to how I did it, because this video was actually, it had been easier to make this video than explain it in a YouTube comment. So thank you for watching this. Thank you to Sam for asking me to do the regeneration effect, because it was fun to do. I played my part in Sam's regeneration, and that is it, really. So thank you for watching. If you want another video like this as to how I did any other effects in series 1, then let me know, and I shall consider it. I will. So yes, thank you for watching, and goodbye.